Today I'm going to be going over 5 tips to help you level faster in Diablo 4, so let's go ahead and hop on into it. So my first tip is each class has a legendary set theme for the season, meaning you are going to get a certain type of legendary item in a cache while completing your season journey. Barb is going to be getting weapon swapping and knockback legendaries. Druid is going to be getting Cataclysm and Companion legendaries. Necro is going to be getting Bone Spirit, Bone Prison, and Bone Golem legendaries. Sork is going to be getting Chain Lightning, and then Rogue is going to be getting Flurry and Dark Shroud legendaries. So Rogue and Sork are most likely going to end up being the best one. So if your goal is to hit 100 as fast as possible, you're probably going to want to play along with the season journey set to go off to get a fast start so you don't have to rely on the randomness of drops. I, for one, will be playing Companion Druid, as that's going to be what I'm going to be playing at the end game, so I'm going to be off to an amazing start this season because Druid is going to be getting Companion legendaries in their caches. My second tip is the EXP cap was increased by 30 levels, so now if you fight a monster that is level 40 while you are at level 1, it's going to give you the EXP of a level 31 monster instead of a level 11 monster like it was in the previous season. Also, Profane Mind Cages are going to be staying in the game for this season as well, but they're going to stack up to 3 times. What these do is they increase the levels of monsters in Helltides by 10 for each Mind Cage, maxing out at 30. So to start, doing Helltides in World Tier 2 is going to be the best thing you can do for experience. But don't forget to try out the mini dungeons. They weren't on the PTR, but apparently Blizzard said that they're going to be giving some pretty good loot, and who knows, maybe they'll give good experience. My third tip is going to be maximize your time efficiency. Make sure if you're going to do a dungeon for an aspect that you do it at the end of a Helltide. There are 5 minutes between each Helltide that you can use to do stuff. You also want to avoid killing world bosses because they added in a new feature called Resilience, making them much harder to kill, so it's going to be an actual fight now. If a boss takes more than a minute to kill during events in the Helltide, or really anything, you probably don't want to stick around and do it, and you probably just want to try to move on to the next event. Most of your time, really should just be spent killing monsters in Helltides and getting as many events done as possible. My fourth tip is you're going to be able to do capstones much earlier as the power level is going to be up again this season. But remember, you can't even put a sacred item on until level 35, and you can't put an ancestral on until level 55. So you're most likely going to struggle to survive in these tiers if you try to go before those levels. But at the same time, if you're turbo killing everything, don't wait until level 50 to do the World Capstone 3 dungeon, and don't wait till level 70 to do World Tier 4. You're going to find that it's going to be most comfortable to do the first capstone around levels 40 to 45, and then doing the second capstone at 55 to 60 will most likely make you feel the best. But make sure you also do not temper your gear until you go into the capstone, because there's no reason to really waste the materials beforehand. But when you do go into one, you definitely want to make sure your gear is tempered and stuff like that. And remember, if you're trying to survive in the next tier up, there's going to be a board that you get rewards on for killing elites. It's going to be very similar to the Iron Wolves board in Season 4, so you can use that board to help get you more sacred, more ancestral legendaries right off the bat as you actually get into these tiers. Because I remember last time I was actually able to land a sacred weapon out of one of the caches in Season 4, and it definitely helped out a lot. So you're going to want, the first thing you want to do is try to get a weapon, and then you're going to want to try to get your armor cap up, or to get more armor and then more all resist as you go up in those, if you want to make sure that you're surviving, because those are going to be the stats that are really going to matter and really help you survive. If you're struggling, just stick in a Helltide, because there should be a pretty big group of people, and that should make it much easier for you to survive if you're struggling. My final tip is make sure that when you turn in your Helltide cinders that you do it towards the end of the Helltide, not the beginning, because by doing this, it's going to give you increased experience. Also, do not forget that whispers are going to be able to be completed, like a whole entire one in each Helltide, whereas before, it wasn't really the case at the beginning of Season 4, but they have actually patched it in mid-Season 4 to make it to where now every single time you do a Hell Tide, you'll also be able to get around to Whispers. So make sure you run around and do those Whispers events as well, because those give a lot of experience, and they also increase the chance of uniques and stuff like that dropping as well. So that's going to be another good way to get gear and to get, just all kinds of good stuff. And then lastly, while all of these tips are helpful, play in the way that makes you have the most fun so you don't burn out. Efficiency is cool, but if it makes you never want to play the game again, then what even was the point of the efficiency? But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for me. Hopefully these tips are going to help you guys level up a little bit faster in Diablo 4 Season 5. Like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.